Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, my students. Today I want to explain to you about the poems. Okay, we start about that. I want to explain what the poem is. The poem is a collection of the spoken or written words that express ideas or emotions, a powerful, vivid, and imaginative style. A poem is comprises of the a particular rhythms and metrical patterns. Poem or poetry is in English, literary word in the form of the writings in beautiful language. Usually, poem also poetry that are similar to or the same as one as another. A common mistake that often occurs is people like think that the poem and the poetry is same, but this is the wrong um, because in the term of the form it is similar, but the facts the poetry and the poem is clearly different because poem written interlocking every word and the forms of presentation is regular and bounds where and the poetry is usually written in the figurative language and has a static appearance in its delivery. And the next, we discuss about what the characteristic of the poems. The first, the poem is written in language or word that are more concise and easier to understanding when compared to the poetry. Even though it is written more concisely, the depths of the meanings to be conveyed in the subtly not lost or diminished, and the next is poem is characterized by straightforward and film language. This is versatility is the main attraction of the poetry. The straightforwardness of the language used in the poetry can even change a person thinking. And the next, in the poem, he have types of the poems. The one is ballad. Ballad is usual written about the romance. This is the poem, the types of the romance. Have the sentence that are similar to song lyric that can be sung. Ballad contain personal stories and usual have frequent repetitions of the word. And the next, elegy. This is the readings of the poem. All emotions can be mixed together. However, especially for elegy, the poetry that is written is the poetry that is sad or he feels sad. Elegy is usual performed at funerals and is usual not recite but may take the forms a song by the lyric. And the next, free verse. We know that the names we know and we think about that the type is alternate rhythm are usual written using the same rhythms. Free verses are poems that are free of the rules. Usually, free verses like to be difficult to distinguish from poetry because they have the same forms. And the last, Magory, it is the poem that the reach like the piece of the word, not a sentence. It's called be that a line consists of the only one word which is not necessarily related to the previous sentence of the word. Okay, I want to give your example. You can look about the example. I choose the one's poem by Pat Mora. This is the she is famous in the Americans. I choose the poem. The title is Old Love. This is we can see that in the poems. When my aunt died, my uncle raised his hands like the prophets in the Bible. I lost my girl, he said. I lost my girl over and over, shaking his head. I don't know what to say, where to look. My quiet uncle raising his voice to silence. My aunt was 87. Listen, my uncle said, singing like a tree alone at night. Women know every midnight on New Year Eve. When the other sands and lounge and huts, you aren't look at me. Turn in her eyes, 60 years. She know one day we kiss goodbye. This example, we can see the Pat Mora in the poems. The title is Old Love. It's the poem took from the perspective of the nice talking about the how it feel her uncle lost the love of his life, her own. This the poem use lots of the poetic device. In it, Santa Mora use a similar. My uncle rise his hand like a prophet in the bubble, singing like a tree alone at night. Mora also used a repetition as the uncle repeats, I've lost my girl. I've lost my girl. But Mora used the short, quickly sentence in the her poem as well to make the word more impactful and the more the point so the hit header on the reader. So I think in the example we know that the types of the detail about the poems by Pat Mora, the title is the Of Love. We can see this is the type of the elegy because the written or the poem or emotion can be mixed together. However, especially for the elegy, the poetry is the written is the poetry that is said because she is in the poem we can see the dialogue about it. I've lost my girl, he said. Okay, the conclusion about this study about the learn today, we can conclude about the poem is a collection of the spoken or written word that express idea or emotions in a powerful, vivid, and imaginative style. So is a page of the writing using the beautiful unusual language arranged in the visit lines that have a particular beat and often the rhymes. Okay, until the ends, maybe I just to explain that, and I hope you understand about my explanations, and nice to meet you for the next day. See you.